back to another Wildlife Wonders video. This week's topic is amphibians. So if you're really interested to learn about the amphibians we have in our area and around the world, keep watching. Herpetology. Herpet comes from the Greek word herpene, which means creeping, to describe creeping like animals. Ology means the study of something. So when we put it all together, we get the study of creeping animals. It's actually the study of amphibians and reptiles. There are 3 different types of amphibians. 1, Aruna. These are amphibians without a tail. These are frogs and toads. Urodela, which means an amphibian with a tail. These are salamanders. Gymnophiona, which means a naked snake because they look like a snake but they are not a snake. These are caecilians. Frogs, Aruna. Toads, Aruna. Salamanders, Urodela. Caecilians, Gymnophiona. Here are some really cool things about amphibians. They're vertebrates, which means they have a backbone, just like humans have a spinal cord. They also are ectothermic, which means they rely on the temperature around them to keep them cool or warm. Unlike humans, we can just throw on a sweater if we're cold. They have this really slimy mucus texture of their skin, which is called keratinized skin. This helps prevent water loss from their body. This is important because keeping their skin moist helps them breathe, since they not only breathe through their small lungs, but they also breathe through their skin. They go through a life cycle that starts with them inside a little tiny egg, which then hatches into little larvae that swim around into the water. And then they undergo a process called metamorphosis, which that's when they start growing their limbs and their teeth and other body parts, and eventually they become full-grown adults. It takes about 3 to 25 days on average to hatch from the egg, and this shows the growth from a tadpole to a full-grown adult. Here are some examples of Aruna organisms in California. For frogs, we have the western-tailed frog, the American bullfrog, and the Pacific tree frog. For toads, we have the western spadefoot and the Great Plains toad. The sounds that you hear are called vocalizations. They have different purposes, such as mating calls or defending territory. Here's a frog I found at the Butte Ecological Center. Some of the Urodela organisms, such as salamanders of California, are the tiger salamander, the California slender salamander, the coastal giant salamander, and the rough-skinned newt. Chinese salamander is the largest salamander in the world. It can grow up to 15 feet long. Here's a salamander I found at the Butte Ecological Center. Gymnophiona organisms are not found in the United States, but can be found in tropical areas such as Central and South America and Central Africa and even Southeast Asia. Some different types of caecilians are the ring caecilian, fuller caecilian, and the broad-striped caecilian. The way a caecilian moves is called hydrostatic locomotion. Their muscles tighten and untighten, and that's how they're able to maneuver through water and soil. Thanks for watching this week's Wildlife Wonders video. If you enjoyed it, go check out our website to see all our past videos. They all include really fun activities. Stay watching so you can hear about this week's activity. This week's activity, we are going to attract amphibians. How do we do that? Well, number one, you need a greenery area. This could be your backyard, a garden, but we want to make sure there's enough greenery so when our creatures come, they can hide inside if there's a predator. Two, you need to make sure that the area is super moist. Moisture is super important for the life of our creatures. And that leads into having water nearby. You want to make sure that there's a water source so they can jump into the water for predators coming, or if they are lacking water, they're dehydrated, they can get that. And four, let's make sure that there's zero chemicals, any toxic waste that can harm our creatures.